She relates with you. I wanted to say, no, of course she relates with you. Please cast us in your next film.
My next question. She likes to disagree with me a lot.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
her fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still casting her because I like that friction. You see, during Antumute, she would be the schoolgirl and she was very naughty schoolgirl. Control her was difficult for me because we only had 2 rooms to shoot. The rest of the school was happening. And I had to tell her, don't sit on the window pane, sit down, don't sit here, can you go inside? Like I was being a headmistress for...
It was a very different world for us. So me and Spurti, at least me, I can talk about myself. That was my first introduction to something like this existing, to something like LGBTQ existing altogether.
That was my next question. Both of you do stage, right? From stage to camera, what is your, like, I'm sure there are loads of them who want to know your process as stage actors, as acting for camera. How different is it? Which one do you enjoy more? Like, speak about that.
I definitely enjoy theatre. I mean, the capacity you put in, so they tell you moola in the you act, as in your energy comes from your tailbone when you're acting for theatre. You're using your body, you're just channelizing, especially when you're performing in an open space without mics, you're belting out your emotions to that person far out there, 500 rows in there. So I love that, and I don't think it's been very different for me under theatre acting and film acting. It's not been, I think you have had to do a lot of work on me. I don't think I did any work. I just came to you and I asked you what should I do, and you probably had to control my face a little bit, mellow it down a little bit, but it's...
Yeah, that's the difference between stage and camera, no? Like camera comes to you. So when it's coming to you, grow inside, it can see, is all that there is. And camera is audience. So I'm bringing audience to, why do you want to go to audience?
Yes.
Simple as this. So keep it as
subtle
within you as possible. Let it'll play out in your eyes. So I bring the camera, I bring the audience eyes to your eyes, let them see what, that's my fun. But my question is, how do you remember these lines? Shweta, I remember one of your plays, there is some crazy Hindi, English, some itna bada, how do you remember it? I can't remember my own writing second line.
That's funny, because it's a story. Like, as long as you understand the story, for me remembering the lines is a cakewalk. I have never struggled with my lines ever. Like, because it's a story and the second line is always in connection with the first one and the third line is going to be in connection with the second one, so it just flows. I don't really relate with people who struggle with their lines, seriously. I mean, you're not there. You have to,
and that's why we are directors.
She relates with you. I wanted to say, no, of course she relates with you. Please cast us in your next film.
My next question. She likes to disagree with me a lot.
Oh,
That's her fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still casting her because I like that friction. You see, we both are being selfish in it, because when it is lot of disagreement, there is always something crackling, which is fun for the camera. It's not fun for both of us.
When she was saying, no, that Roopa sees through you and then, you feel naked, and I wanted to say, yeah, she sees through you, but she's wrong. She's seeing the wrong thing. Often
you wish.
No, many a times she tells me that this is what you're thinking. I was like, no, you how the you know what I'm thinking? You don't know.
Yeah, 2 hours later it takes, yeah, you're right. so yeah, how so is acting just about reading lines, remembering lines?
Not at all.
What process happens for stage and for camera?
For stage or for camera, for the time being of that performance, I am that person. I'm not Teju, and I don't go with any preparation. If you're not a good director, I'll not perform well.
Yeah.
So it's on you.
Yeah.
Which is
so true.
It's
See,
so
film is a director's medium, so yeah, it has to be.
Can you say it again so I do like bold, because a lot of people don't know that stage is actor's medium.
Yes.
Like a lot of stage plays, I've seen directors don't even come on the show days.
Yes,
they just sit at home because their job is done.
Yeah, because when it's when the lights are on theatre, and when actor is on the stage, the entire control is in actor's hand. They can do whatever shit they want on the stage and nobody can interrupt them or even edit that. But films, like they say, are made on edit table. So the perspectives, the way actor would have performed, first of all, there itself there is a huge impression of the director on the actor when they are performing. But at the same time, the entire story can change when they are on the edit table. So it's entirely director's medium. But talking about the process, for me also the process for theatre and for films is exactly the same. I really do not have a different process for these two mediums. However, when you, like she said, when you perform on the stage, your throw and your reach, only that switch changes, that okay, I have to reach out to the last person and I have to be slightly more animated than I would be on the on a camera. But recently I heard a very good actor saying that cinema or camera acting is all about restraining yourself than expressing yourself. Like a good actor would not really cry. He, that person will try to hold his crying as much as possible. Because in real life, people, they restrain themselves from crying out in public, or as much as control is possible, we try to do that. So
Depending upon
the character situation, of course. So like you said earlier, that camera is more subtle, because it's coming to you and you have to be more within yourself. And in my process, I don't really do anything extravagant when I am playing a character, but whatever I am doing before my shoot, I will try to think about the character. All I do is just think, कि अच्छा, if she is Nilima or uska life aisa hai. So before the shoot, if I was interacting with my husband, there were moments when I would think that, अच्छा, how would Nilima react to this? If I'm cutting vegetables, sometimes I just cut it like Nilima, or whichever character I'm playing. If I'm talking to my son, sometimes I would react to it or listen to him the way Neelima would do it as character. Or if I'm even walking on the street, sometimes I would just think of Neelima in my head without really changing much in my body. And if it happens organically. So that's my process for theatre as well as for films.
I just feel like I'm a very unintelligent person when I'm acting, because the moment, especially on stage, it's never happened on camera, okay, but especially on stage, I'm mindful, because they light you on side in the light baratala. So I feel like I'm a very generous actor to my co-actor. I don't like upstaging my actor. I mean upstaging my actor or blocking light on them. It irritates me. I feel like I've ruined the play if something like that were to happen. So when I'm mindful of my reflection falling on that person's face, it takes me out of my character and it disturbs me, because I have to use my intelligence now to, I become Teju there and I don't like it.
Yeah, very conscious it is.
Yes, I feel like I'm a very unintelligent person, as in my best performances happen when I'm not using my brain.
Yeah.
When I am that person, I'm genuinely that person, there is no thought in my head.
Yeah.
See, that reminds me, recently where in one of the interviews we were talking to Kaira Mashi, and he asked me a question about, see, when I casted you for Gantu Mute, you were 22-year-old. How did you decide to cast her as a 16-year-old? I said, I believed. It's in my belief. I believe, she believed, and that's all that matters. And movie storytelling is a make-believe process.
Yes.
When both of us believe in our heads, there was not like an ounce of doubt that you couldn't be that for me. If there was doubt, I would have played it differently, right? The camera placements, everything. But I'm like, I see the innocence in her eyes, and that's all that matters. So it's that belief, and that is something that I have. Shweta, you work differently in this process. With Teju, I have noticed she becomes it. Like during Gantu Mute, she would be the schoolgirl, and she was very naughty schoolgirl. To control her was difficult for me, because we only had 2 rooms to shoot. The rest of the school was happening.
Yes.
And I had to tell her, don't sit on the window pane, sit down, don't sit here, can you go inside? Like I was being a headmistress for...
And she doesn't want to be that person.
I don't like, but we have to, because we have, with the school, they will take away the permission. I'm like, I still have 18 days to shoot. Can you please go inside and do whatever you want to do? So she's like, why are you saying it? This is my school kind of look she would give me. But with you, what I've noticed is you intellectualize stuff. The characters also, the questions sometimes you ask is, so my process with you is to take away your intelligence. whereas she gives in without using it. Otherwise, she's a very intelligent person, but when she is doing a role, she's like, it's fine. But with me, for me, process with her is to bring her from a stage actor to the theater, camera actor. With you, keep your brain a little bit away. Is my process.
Be dumb.
Little bit, because like let's say
blank, not dumb.
not even like don't think so much about it. ये होगा. Don't ask me क्यों होगा, कैसा होगा. होगा. Believe कर लो ना होगा. Is all that there is. Like with other love story, the kind of questions we would discuss, right? We spoke a lot as a process.
Yeah.
Because whatever needed to happen in the story is very simple thing. Nothing that they won't do is happening. It's very, very simple. But the fact that it is between two girls, so many questions are coming. So my process for 3 months with both of them was to take those questions away. Why not? How? So we just stopped, like I stopped them from using their brains.
But that was a very different world for us. So me and Spurti, at least me, I can talk about myself. We were, that was my first introduction to something like this existing, to something like LGBTQ existing altogether, and being the way they are or the way they feel, all of that. That was my first introduction at all. So I definitely, it took a while for me to understand and then believe, like make room for believing. Before that it was like, how can something like this, or does it even exist, or that was a very different world.
Yeah. And 8 years later,
I also, every time I've been telling people that that scene in Gantu Mute where she breaks down, no? When I tell people she had set up 2 cameras and it was a single take, people don't believe it, and they ask, so how did you prepare for it? Roopa will tell you everything, as in she just feeds you with the story. You just become that person. There's no way you cannot be in her world when she's telling you, because I think if not for you, of course Gantu Mute wouldn't have happened, but I tell everybody that Roopa brings out the best performance. I love Appa as a director, but I still feel you bring out my best performance. There's something about the way you get into my head, and it's a very, and she never shows how to act. She never shows how to act.
Thank you.
I don't know how to act. If I could, I would act. No, I don't know how to act. But I have been told this, that my narrations are really good, and I feel if the communication is the most crucial thing for a director, right? And it's things happen in communication, like even otherwise in the world. I'm like, whatever is the problem, sit and talk it out. No, just talk it out. It's fine if you fight for a while, you like let the words come out of you. And I have been someone who I have lived by myself for a long time in my head. So I've written a lot because I communicated with paper more than the human beings. And so I think there was certain sharp clarity about the way I would choose my words when I'm saying things, because that's how less I spoke to humans, you know what I mean? So I think for a director to work with an actor or the crew members anytime, the communication is very crucial, and being present is very crucial. And any actor who will allow me and be with me in that present moment is all that I ask for. So when people ask me what is my audition process, I don't have an audition. I don't know. Like, why will I bring camera and put it in? Camera will do whatever. It's an equipment. I need to see how you are with me as a human, how we are with each other, right? Because we are going to spend crucial 50-60 days of our lives together, creating something that world will see for like next 100 years. That's how I envision all my stories. So if you can't be with me and us together, enjoying each other, very crucial. If not, then it won't happen. And if there is no enjoyment, I will also cast them for a certain role, because I need that. See, this is what I'm playing with. So if you don't allow me, and if you don't allow, let yourself be allowed into my system, we will not be able to. My friends have issues that many a times they've asked me, shooting gig barti vi, I want to see shooting. What will you see shooting?
She's
Boring.
very possessive of her actors during the shoot days. So she
Right.
doesn't like you interacting even with family. She as in she knows you've become that person and she wants you to be that person. I mean, she created that person, and I snap out of the character once it's done. Okay, I mean, Gantu Mute, it's 6 o'clock. Pack up. It's my birthday. My friends have come. They brought their yellaru butterfly stole hakund bandide. She was dearing. Roopa, it's something about her is so endearing because she doesn't hide her jealousy. She doesn't hide her annoyance with another person. They can be offended. She doesn't care. It's who she is, and I think that kind of transparency. If somebody asks me what you love most about Roopa, it's how transparent you are, even if you don't want to be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am, and I struggle hard with it because I think I'm containing a lot. Because imagine what you see outside is
You trying to think I'm bringing a poker face.
no, but imagine what you're
Far
seeing.
from it.
No, but what you're seeing is just the
Iceberg tip.
yeah, and it's something more is happening inside. So I feel that is very like you Ishtalla, I have to hold myself and walk around. That's how I feel. But yeah, I've given her also a lot of torture during the love story.
I don't call it torture. It's just it's a process with you, and I really enjoy that process.
There is no other way, Teju. Like for me, if I snap out or if I see my actors who I'm obsessing over is snapping out, I get scared. And I'm like, what we are doing right now will not happen.
No, you'll
it's
frown.
like yagna.
She'll frown at you, and that's enough. Roopa never abuses, never shouts, never says anything that can't be taken back. She will frown, and that is enough for you to think, what did I do?
You are young, so you will notice it. She will give it back.
No, that's not true. It's not that. I'm sure she was giving back even when she was young. It's just
No,
who
like
people
with
are.
other love stories, she gave like ऐसे क्या देख रहे हो? Camera के बीच में she like ऐसा क्या? What happened? Why are you looking at me like that? You